Something brought you here today. And I want you to sit with that for just a second before we even get into this. Because it wasn't an accident. You didn't just stumble onto this video randomly. The part of you that needed to hear something, the part of you that's been waiting, wondering, maybe even quietly hurting, that part of you found its way here. So take a breath. Because what's coming through right now is heavy. It's real. And it is meant specifically for you. I need you to understand something before we go any further. There is someone in your life, or someone who recently stepped out of it, who is carrying something they cannot bring themselves to say. Not yet. It's not because they don't feel it. Trust me, they feel it so deeply it almost scares them. It's because saying it out loud makes it real. And real means vulnerable. And vulnerable means they could lose. And when it comes to you, they are not willing to lose. So instead, they stay quiet. They sit with it. They let it build inside them like a pressure they don't know how to release. And that pressure? That is the energy coming through so clearly right now. This person wants you back. Desperately. But they haven't found the courage to say it yet. Let's talk about what's actually going on with them right now, because the energy surrounding this person is not quiet. Not even a little bit. On the surface, yes, they're presenting this version of themselves that seems fine, seems unbothered, maybe even seems like they've moved on. But underneath that? There is a storm. There is a restlessness that they cannot shake. And it traces directly back to you. Something happened, whether it was a falling out, a slow drift, a sudden silence, or a choice that one of you made, and they have not been the same since. They wake up thinking about you. They go to sleep replaying moments. They catch themselves doing things that remind them of you, and instead of brushing it off the way they used to, it hits them differently now. It hits them like a realization they've been avoiding. What I'm feeling from their energy is this sense of someone who has recently had to face a truth about themselves. Like the life they've been trying to live, the one that didn't include you, has been exposing a gap they didn't anticipate. They thought they would adjust. They thought time would do what time is supposed to do. But instead, the absence of you has done something to them that they weren't prepared for. It's made them see who you actually were. Not the version they maybe took for granted or misunderstood in moments of frustration or pride. But the real version. The rare version. The version they are not finding anywhere else, because it doesn't exist anywhere else. And here's what's coming through so powerfully right now, this isn't just nostalgia. I want to be clear about that, because nostalgia is easy. Nostalgia is comfortable. What this person is experiencing is something more honest than that. It's the kind of clarity that only comes when you remove something from your life and suddenly see it for what it was. They are seeing you clearly now. Maybe for the first time. And what they're seeing is making them ache in a way that is very, very difficult to sit with in silence. Now let's talk about you. Because the energy around you in this reading is so important and I don't want to skip over it. There's something about you that this person cannot replicate with anyone else, and I think on some level you've always known that about yourself, even when people around you tried to make you feel ordinary. You are not ordinary. There is a depth to you, a layered quality, like you carry more than most people can even hold in a single conversation. You feel things fully. You love with your whole self. And when you let someone into that, when you actually open that part of yourself up to someone, it is a gift that most people don't recognize until it's gone. This person recognizes it now. They recognize that what you offered them was not something they should have handled carelessly. And whether or not they were careless on purpose, whether it was ego, or fear, or just being at the wrong place in their own evolution, they are sitting with the weight of that now. The energy I'm feeling from them is not someone who has comfortably moved on. It's someone who is quietly haunted. And they are haunted by the specific and irreplaceable feeling of you. There's a moment I keep feeling in their energy, a very particular kind of moment. It's the moment they almost reached out. Maybe it happened more than once. They picked up their phone. Maybe they started typing something. Maybe they drove past somewhere that held a memory and felt something so strong they almost couldn't breathe. And then something stopped them. That voice of pride. That fear of what it means if you don't respond. That terror of being completely seen and wanting something this badly and not knowing if it'll be received. So they stopped. They put the phone down. They kept going. But the feeling didn't leave. It never leaves. I'm being shown something about the way this person thinks about the future, and it is striking. When they try to picture what their life looks like going forward, when they try to imagine something good, something real, something that feels like home, you are in that picture. They don't go looking for you there. You're just there. Like you belong there. Like their own imagination won't let them cut you out of the version of their life that feels right. That tells you everything. You can control your actions. You can control your words. But you cannot control what your mind reaches for when it's being honest. And their mind reaches for you. Let me go a little deeper into the spiritual energy here, because there is something beyond just emotion at play. There is a soul-level pull between you two that I don't think either of you fully understands yet. What I'm feeling is the kind of connection that doesn't just live in memory, it lives in the body. In the gut. In those quiet moments when someone randomly crosses your mind and you feel it before you even know why. That's not coincidence. That's not just habit. That is something the universe wove between two people for a reason, and when you try to cut it, when you walk away, when you go silent, when you pretend it didn't matter, it doesn't actually break. It just stretches. And it keeps pulling. And right now, from their end, that pull is becoming impossible to ignore. There is a feeling of something shifting in their world. Like events are lining up, like the universe is gently, and sometimes not so gently, redirecting them back to the truth of what they feel. Maybe they've had a run of things that haven't worked out. Maybe something they thought would fill that void has revealed itself as empty. Maybe someone showed them, without meaning to, exactly what they don't want, and what they don't want looks nothing like you. Whatever it is, the external world is confirming what the internal world has been saying for a while now. And that internal world keeps saying your name. Now, I want to speak to the part of you that might be sitting here feeling uncertain. Maybe even feeling a little foolish for still caring. Maybe you've been trying so hard to be strong, to move forward, to convince yourself that whatever happened is just something you accept and release. And I want you to hear me very clearly right now. Caring does not make you weak. Loving someone deeply, even when things are complicated, even when things hurt, that is not a flaw in you. That is evidence of your capacity. And your capacity is extraordinary. Do not let anyone, including yourself, shrink you into thinking there is something wrong with the way you feel. But here's what the energy is also showing me about you specifically. You have been doing something in this quiet period that is more powerful than you realize. You've been growing. Maybe you didn't even notice it consciously. Maybe it's just been happening underneath everything else, like roots spreading before the tree gets any taller. But the version of you right now, even the version sitting with confusion or longing or unresolved feelings, is not the same version you were before. You've been sitting with hard things. You've been learning things about yourself through the difficulty. You have been quietly becoming something, and that becoming is not going unnoticed by the universe. Or by them. Because here's the thing. This person can feel it too. Energy doesn't lie. Even when two people aren't speaking, even when there's distance or silence, energy transfers. It moves. It reaches across the space between people. And something in them has been feeling the shift in you without being able to name it. You seem different somehow. Steadier. More of yourself. And it's doing something to them that they weren't expecting. It's making them want to be around it. It's making them want to be around you. There's something I'm also picking up around the way this person holds their pride, and I want to address it because I think it's the main thing standing between where they are and what they actually want. This is someone who is not used to being the one who reaches back. They are used to being wanted. They are used to being pursued, or at the very least, being the one who controls the pace of things. The idea of being fully transparent about how much they miss you, about how wrong things feel without you, that goes against every wall they've built. But those walls are cracking. And the cracks are coming from the inside. Because you cannot keep something like this contained forever. Eventually it needs somewhere to go. What I'm sensing is that there is a moment coming. Not in some far-off, abstract future, but genuinely coming. A moment where this person decides that the weight of what they haven't said is heavier than the risk of saying it. And when that tipping point arrives, what comes from them is going to feel both surprising and also like something you somehow already knew was on its way. Because you've felt this energy too, haven't you? There have been moments where you just knew. Where something in you said this isn't over yet. Trust that. That wasn't wishful thinking. That was your intuition picking up on something real. I want to take a moment to talk about what love actually looks like when it's stripped of all the performance. Because sometimes we get so caught up in what people say, or don't say, that we forget to feel what's actually being transmitted. This person, in their silence, in their holding back, in every moment they've almost reached out, they are transmitting love. It's coming through messy and complicated and buried under layers of their own fear and pride. But it's there. And it is strong. And it is specifically, unmistakably directed at you. There's something almost tender about the way their energy feels when I tune into the deeper layers of it. Underneath all the hesitation, underneath the silence, there's this softness. This vulnerability they wouldn't let most people see. And I think part of what makes you so significant to them is that they've let you see parts of themselves they don't show the world. Maybe they didn't even mean to. Maybe it just happened, the way it happens with people who are genuinely meant to understand each other. And having had that, having had someone who could actually see them, and then not having it, that is its own kind of grief. That is what they're carrying. And here's what I need you to take away from this. You are not forgotten. You are not something they've neatly filed away as a chapter that's over. You are present, actively, persistently present, in the landscape of their inner life. Every time they try to look ahead, you're there. Every time they come close to settling for something less, something pulls them back. And that something is the truth of how they feel about you. The universe is not done with this story. Whatever has passed between you, whatever distance exists right now, whatever silence has settled in, that is not the ending. That is the space before the turn. And something is turning. I can feel it clearly. A shift is happening in the energy around both of you, and it is moving things closer. It is dissolving what kept you apart. And what it's revealing is two people who, when all the noise falls away, want each other. Simply, honestly, deeply want each other. So here's what I want to leave you with. Stay open. Not desperate, open. There is a difference. Desperation contracts. Openness expands. Stay grounded in yourself, stay rooted in the growth you've been doing, and trust that what is meant for you will not be able to stay away from you. This person is not ready to say it out loud yet. But the wanting is already there. It has been there. It is real. And the words are getting closer to the surface every single day. You deserve someone who chooses you clearly, out loud, without reservation. And what I'm seeing in this energy. That is exactly what is building. On the other side of all this quiet, all this holding back, there is someone getting ready to stop swallowing the truth. Getting ready to stop performing indifference. Getting ready to stop pretending they don't lie awake thinking about you. They want you back. Desperately. And the only thing standing between that feeling and your door right now is time, and the moment they finally decide that you are worth more than the protection of their pride. That moment is coming. Hold on. If this resonated with you, follow along for more energy readings, and drop a comment letting me know what came through for you today. You are so loved.